guys, welcome back to According To. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ciera. For this week's episode, Megan and I thought it'd be fun to hop back onto tiermaker.com, is that what it's called? Mm-hmm. The infamous website where everyone makes all their tier rankings. And we've done a tier ranking episode before, but it was kind of like a mixed match.
Like years ago at this point.
There's a lot of random stuff.
I remember recording it in our old apartment, and we used to always record our episodes in Ciera's closet. And I remember doing it there.
And look at us now in our own little studio. But yeah, Megan picked out 3 that we're going to be doing today. And if you're unfamiliar with how these tier lists work, basically you just have a list of items within a given category and you can rank them. S tier is usually the best. I don't really know why.
Yeah.
But then it goes like A, B, C, D, and further if it needs to.
Right.
Or some people have like their own rankings that they make.
And some of these do have kind of like different things, but we'll go through it once we do each one.
It's very easy to play along if you want to as well.
We just kind of wanted like a nice fun episode. So I'll say what the 3 categories we'll get to are. I don't know what order we'll do them in. But one is People's Magazine Sexiest Men Alive, tier maker. And then we have date night ideas. And then we have romance book tropes and stuff like that. So
all lots of fun.
It should be fun. Before we do that, Ciera and I always like to start off with catching up with just what's been going on in our lives, and then also our weekly spotlight. I will say my weekly spotlight this week
is probably the same as mine.
Iowa women's basketball. Watching the game on Friday, which was the Final Four, and then later today they're in the championship, and I am obviously hoping that they win, but I'm very excited, and it was so fun watching the game on Friday. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about Caitlin Clark, but I don't know if it's like as much as like what I'm seeing, or if the algorithm is like feeding me, because like I am eating up everything that I'm seeing about Caitlin Clark. So it's like it could be amplified, but like I know everyone's talking about her too, so I don't know.
Megan's like, am I creating my own situation where I think everyone is talking about her, but like it's not quite as much as I think?
But I know like,
or is everyone experiencing this?
About her? But it's just been her and the whole team. Like I think that we have like just our entire team has been playing well right now.
Like they're peaking at just the right moment.
Yeah. And so it was so interesting to watch the game on Friday because like they had to play pretty different than they normally do, which was just fun to see how they adapted to playing South Carolina. South Carolina, great team.
Very like
holy cow.
Such an aggressive style of play that like I wasn't sure how the Iowa team was going to adapt because we don't have like huge players that can kind of like go up one-on-one against those players on the South Carolina team. But obviously Iowa held her own. I was so impressed with like our defense, specifically Gabby Marshall. She is just like all over the place. If someone's open, she's like running to cover them. Like I was just very impressed with her and obviously the whole team. But excited to watch the game tonight.
Other news. Any new books that you've finished up recently?
I finished up 2 books recently. So I ended up finishing Before We Were Strangers, and I loved that one. I gave it 4 stars. It has like a dual POV and then past and present timeline, but it's like a 15-year difference. And so it starts in the present time and they kind of run into each other, but like just miss each other. And then you get a flashback 15 years earlier to see the start of their relationship until when they stopped talking. And then it comes back to present time, seeing if they can reconnect and stuff. I thought it was a great book. I had a great time with it. Megan also read that one and gave it 4 stars. Mm-hmm. So
I'm almost done with Daisy Jones and the Six. I should be able to finish it today. And it's just like, I think I'm going to give it 4 stars, and I do enjoy it, and I want to go ahead and give like the TV show a watch and see what I think of it. It's definitely yesterday, I started picking up a little bit more, where instead of like, I was kind of like, let me just get to like this spot and then like, I'm going to be done for now. But then I actually kind of like would get to that spot and like would want to keep reading. So, for just like, I don't know if I would call it just like general fiction, but like more or less like it is. And usually like it's harder for me to like, I am usually not like, oh my God, I need to keep reading this book. Mm-hmm. And so yesterday at least like I got a little taste of that, which was good. So finishing that today. And then I think next I'm going to be reading A Flicker in the Dark, which is, I don't know if it's a thriller or just a mystery.
It's a little bit of both, I would say.
So Ciera read that not too long ago, and she enjoyed it. And I'm trying to do one more book before I get back to romance. I don't know what I'm going to read exactly after that, but trying to like make myself read something else, not just romance too.
Yeah, and then I also just finished up yesterday reading So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, which is the 4th book. They have very interesting names. 4th book in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series. I think I'm just gonna probably like end up giving the rest of them 3 stars. I gave this one 3 stars, and it's like the book 4 compared to book 3 was better than book 3 because book 3 didn't make any sense. I probably should have honestly gone lower because don't ask me what the plot of that book is. I couldn't tell you. This one I could follow along with. It's just like I'm getting kind of sick of the like authorial voice, I guess, for lack of a better word. It's a very distinct writing style, and if you've read these books, you know what I'm talking about. There's no other book. Like, the author is very much in, like, you can tell there's, like, an author in this story, and it feels like he's inserting himself, like, you know, trying to be, like, clever and stuff. And I wish Megan knew what I was talking about, because she hasn't read this book, or, like, any of these books. But I'm, like, just kind of looking forward to being done reading the entire series, so that I don't have to pick this book up again.
Have one more?
One more. There's technically, like, an 11-page short story, also, before the next book. So I'm, like, do I read that? But then I'm, like, but I don't know if I want to count that in, like, my Goodreads book count. But then I also, like, want to, like, read the whole book that I have in its entirety. So it's only, like, 11 pages. But anyway, all that to say, hopefully I'll finish that whole series soon. And then, like, I probably just won't ever touch it again. But next, I'm deciding between, I think, reading one of our books that we got from those little free libraries. And so we got 19 Minutes by Jodi Picoult. Do you guys know that's how her last name is pronounced? Pico and not Picoult, because I just learned that. I watched a TikTok a while ago where she talked about how to pronounce her name. So either that or Red Metal by Mark Greaney. Is that his name?
Sounds kind of
same author that wrote The Gray Man, which I haven't read that book, but I saw the Netflix adapted show or movie and liked it. Both of those books have pretty good reviews and ratings on Goodreads, so it's just kind of like, I think I might honestly try Red Metal just because Megan and I just finished watching The Night Agent on Netflix.
Good show.
So maybe I like want to, I've never really read like a political thriller or drama, so like maybe I should try delving into that and seeing if I like that.
Yeah, The Night Agent has been the #1 show on Netflix like in the US for probably like the past week or so. It was awesome. I really enjoyed it.
I will say, pay a little bit more attention than Megan and I did.
At the end, we were kind of like on our laptops or on our phones, and like generally speaking, you still like kind of know what's going on, but like it's one of those shows where like your attention is probably like best spent watching the show.
Well, the issue is that in my mind, like the first two episodes,
a lot of different plots because it's like
the first 2 episodes were mostly the same characters. So I was like, okay, like I'm keeping up. I can do some other stuff while I'm watching the show. And then like the 3rd or 4th episode, I was like looking up and I was like, who is that?
Like there are layers upon layers of like who can you trust, who can you not trust. There's like 3 different things going on instead of just one, and then you're kind of like, who's on whose team, and a little more confusing.
Yeah, so I would recommend if you're gonna watch that, just pay attention like when you see a new character come on the screen, learn who they are, learn their name, what they do, and that should do you well.
Yeah. Otherwise,
any other updates? I don't think so. I guess we'll do a little fun recap of how our weekend's gone so far. I feel we've had a nice weekend. So Saturday we finished up our photo shoots that we had planned for According To. So you guys, we posted like one picture from our little like cocktail dress photo shoot. You guys have loved that photo so far. I'm like, that photo, we've only posted one photo, but hopefully you'll love the photos to come.
I'm hoping to do like actual like I'll schedule some posts out using, you know, some of the pictures we've taken.
But then the shoot,
have some feed planning stuff.
The shoot yesterday was like movie night themed, and so we got to like have little like not silk, like I don't know, silk satin pajamas on. They're from Amazon, like they're not that expensive. And then we got a new backdrop out. We got some props and stuff, like some popcorn, movie snacks. Haley actually came over and helped us take some pictures because we quickly learned last time when we did the cocktail dress photos by herself.
Last week I posted saying like just 2 girls in a dream, and boy, it was 2 girls in a dream.
2 girls. So it was hard to get pictures of the 2 of us, and we did get some. They were good, but we didn't get very many. And so the second photo shoot had a lot more pictures of the 2 of us. And I just like the vibe.
Has been wanting to, because we took some shots of just like the things and the props, and Ciera's like, we should put that on Etsy as a print, just to, like if anyone wants to buy it, whether or not they like know us in our show or they just like the print. Or she's also like, you know, we've been meaning to have some artwork eventually behind Ciera, so maybe one of those one of the pictures would work well for that.
Yeah, and then after that we hung out with Haley for a little bit. Like she stayed here for probably another hour or 2 when we were done.
Haley is due this month.
She is, which means we become aunts this month. I get so self-conscious when I say that word because I don't own either.
That every single time you say
I don't own either phrase, so I say both.
So that'll be fun. That's end of this month. And what else did we do yesterday? Oh, we went to so our grandma was watching
Maggie's
one of our
brother.
cousins, and so our grandma was at our uncle's house, and so Ciera, me, our mom, and Haley went over just to hang out with our grandma because she had to stay there and watch him. So,
But like you'd gone to sleep at this point when we were already over there.
and so our mom, there's like these clue games. It's one of the many types of games that we've gotten involved in that is related to like, we've are honestly like, it's not an escape room at this point anymore, but like, that's the general, like, if you like those kinds of games, the clue one kind of fits in. Honestly, the clues
are easy.
They walk you right through what you're supposed to be doing. You're more so like just following along the storyline, which isn't all bad because then your brain's not hurting.
Like there's very few riddles that you have to like figure out which cards match up, but they're still pretty easy. And otherwise, you're just kind of peeking around looking for clues because the thing that makes it a clue game is that like you're trying to like the one that we did yesterday was we're trying to like escape this ship that was sinking or something. So like that was like what took the length of the game, but then throughout the game you get different clues, and then at the very end you have to figure out like there's a crime that also occurred, so you have to figure out like who did it, like where the captain.
You're collecting statements and clues throughout, and then at the end is when you kind of actually like look at everything and say this is what you think happened.
And so honestly, like we nailed it. We got the right person, right place, right reason. But it's definitely like if you're looking for like an entrance point into these types of games, like the clue ones would be such an easy entrance in my mind. Unlock games are still for sure my favorite, and then the exit games are good. Exit games are a little bit harder.
Yeah, they've grown on me though. They used to not be my favorites, but now I really enjoy those ones too. But like with any and all escape games, there's definitely like a time like if you're getting stuck where you're like you don't really want to like keep playing, so it's something you have to push past. But
yeah, one yesterday was good. We have one more clue game that Mom still got, and I want to look for more exit games too, but at this point it's hard to remember which ones we have or haven't done.
We've literally bought a duplicate before.
Yeah, so that was embarrassing. We were like, oh, we already did that.
Okay, I think we should start with the date night ideas, but I'm open to any argument.
Let's do it.
Okay. So if I take any length of time trying to decide for what the date is, it's because this tier maker thing doesn't have like words on these pictures. It just shows like a picture of what the date is. So I'm going to do my best to like say that this is what the date is.
You want to read through the tier options?
This one is just S is first, then A. It has A minus, and then B and C. So we have.
Should we talk about like what we like?
Yeah,
think of these ratings as being. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So S tier for me is like my number one date idea, or like in this case, like number one, number two.
Yeah.
Like,
which is why like whatever is on this list, it's probably just gonna be like a couple of them because I feel like you kind of have like an ideal first date, and so then there can only be like a couple of things in there.
Mm-hmm. An A plus date for me would be like
it's just A and then A minus.
Okay, an A date is like that's a great date idea. Like let's go do that. Something
There's
like fun and
few
fresh.
Cons and lots of pros, and it's just like generally an enjoyable thing to do.
A minus is still good, but probably like overdone. But like it's a classic for a reason.
B would maybe be I don't know. I don't know how like
B is like you've been dating for a long time. Like it's still like a date, but like you know.
And maybe
whatever.
like it's not like the most conducive to like getting to know someone, which is like first date you have to like keep that in mind too. And then C is maybe like objectively like bad or like would not enjoy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
First one is mini golf.
I think
now I have actually gone on a mini golf date. What did I just say? Mini golf date.
You did?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. Anyways, it was fine. I thought it's pretty conducive to like you can still talk with the person.
See, I've always thought I haven't been on a mini golf date, but I've always thought it would be a good date idea because it gives you an activity. So like if there's any sense of like awkwardness or anything, the activity gives you something to like talk about or like something to do.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't have to like constantly be like staring at each other's eyes, like you know, things that make first dates awkward.
It's fairly affordable. I feel like A.
I was gonna say A or S, but A is good.
Let's put it in A for now. If we want to go back and rearrange some things later, we can. Any cons to like a mini golf date?
I don't think so. I mean, unless you're overly competitive, but I feel like it'd also be good to know that right away.
Yeah.
If you're like getting to know someone and they're like taking it way too seriously, you could be like, my God, it's just mini golf. Mm-hmm. So like
if you're with an enjoyable person, it's going to be a good fun date. And if you're with someone who is too competitive, it it'll scan them out, or it'll
Weed them out.
screen them for it. Okay, next is going to like a fair.
I have gone to the fair for a date.
Look at us sharing our like experiences. Okay.
I actually liked it. I thought it was, again, it gives you like, one, you're like walking. So like, we talked about walking dates being like a good thing to do.
It's a very casual thing, but at least like you're walking somewhere. It's not like
or like nowhere. We were just like walking.
Well, but like you're not just like
laps
let's meet at like
around
the
the state fair
park and walk around. Like, it's the idea of
so
like walking.
It gives you something to do. Like you're walking, so you're doing an activity.
There's food nearby.
There's food. Activities,
games or activities if you want.
We like would walk in and out of the different buildings and like see if there's stuff to do there, and just like it gives you constant things to talk about because you're passing by new things all the time. You're around a lot of people, and so if you're doing any like people watching or anything, like you can do that. There's like animals and stuff. Like it was a good.
Should we go S tier?
I feel like I could go on a better date, but I'm very comfortable putting it at A.
Okay, that's fair. This one's niche. This looks like a Comic Con convention to me. So for me, personally...
C?
Yeah. Just because it wouldn't be enjoyable for me. If you liked that stuff, though...
If you and someone that you were dating...
as a first date, though,
like
it kind of seems like a lot for a first date.
I don't know. I've never been to...
Maybe if you, like, met someone by doing, like, that sort of thing, but...
Yeah. For us, since we're not big comic or convention people... It's not going to be a good date.
Okay, how about an arcade?
It's an activity.
Like, let's think of maybe like spare time or something. Mm-hmm. That's maybe like the situation.
I would maybe do A- because it's still like the activities and stuff. The thing that's annoying about arcade game stuff is like how much money you have to like fork out to like constantly like be playing the games. Like it runs out pretty fast.
And I feel like also... You could definitely, like, take breaks in between, like, okay, let's do some games here, and then, like, maybe we'll chat, and then, like, if there's food there, maybe you get food at some point. So, like, there definitely is still opportunity to, like, chat and get to know the person, but, like, when you're playing, like, the games, you're probably, like, in it just trying to play the games.
Mm-hmm. And I'm not a huge, like, arcade person, game person anyways, and so I don't know if I would, like, it'd be my first choice to do on a date. Should we go B?
That's what I was thinking maybe we do move it down to B. The one thing,
like, if you were dating someone for a long time and like you're in a relationship, it'd be like something fun to spice up the evening. Yeah. But maybe like a first date, not really.
Like, yeah, I kind of agree with that. The one thing that's like good about that is like it's an inside activity. So if you live somewhere where it's like colder or it's winter and you just don't want to be outside and cold, but you want to do something, it's an idea. Okay, this literally looks like spray painting to me. Like
maybe it's like an art thing, art class.
We can do art class because that makes more sense than just spray painting. So maybe like put this in the category of like going and painting pottery, or
I would actually like love to do that for our first date.
I wouldn't mind that, but I also can't tell. I feel like it'd be like good for like if you've been dating the person for a while. I don't know. That's like you have like you're talking the entire time and there's no like distraction. Like, the painting's only... But you're not going to be talking that much about, like, what you're painting, I feel like.
Yeah, but I feel like if there was, like, a lull in the conversation, you're both, like, painting, you're like, no, that would be awkward. I don't think it would be that awkward if you're, like, or, like, I'm going to go run and get some more paint. Like, if it gets awkward. You're like, oh, I'll be right back. I ran out of paint.
So, what do you want to put it in?
I'd say A- is what I want to
That's
put
what
I
was gonna suggest that. Okay, then we have going out to a bar.
For a first date?
A lot of people do that.
I guess, like, I'm thinking more like a bar and not like a
drinks.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I always feel awkward about, like, the idea of this because if someone were to be like, oh, do you want to go get drinks? I'd be like, I don't really, like, drink, and so, like, could we get drinks and apps and, like, it doesn't matter what I drink, you know? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like this hasn't ever come up. And so I've never gone like and grabbed drinks for a date. But like the idea kind of makes me like, how do I go about making it be like, I don't really drink, but like
that doesn't mean we can't do that. I'm just letting you know that like, so you're aware.
You know what I mean? Have you ever thought about this?
I have, but it's never really come up.
So
I haven't ever like gone on like a drink date, so.
do we do this for like ourselves then? I mean, we
I feel
have
like
to,
let's
right?
just speak to, generally speaking, what we think.
I think
of,
it's a good idea.
I do too.
Like it's pretty like non-committal as
This
far
is
as
probably
the
like
time
the
commitment.
most popular first date.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people like the idea of just like, it's casual, it's quick, it can take the edge off if you're a little anxious or something.
And like you can always like you can make the date longer if you want to if you're enjoying each other's company by like getting food or like getting dessert or something. But you can also just be like, well, my drink is done. It was nice meeting ya.
Yeah.
Time to head out. So I think it's a good first date idea. I don't think it's S tier. I don't even know if I would say A, maybe A minus.
I'd say let's do A minus.
Like it's
Especially
there's a
just,
reason
like,
it's as popular as it is.
The thing that it lacks is like the distraction component.
First dates need a distraction.
Just in case. Okay. Beach. Like a little picnic on the beach or something.
I don't mind this idea. I think that it could be awkward if like it's your first time meeting them, so I'm trying to like I think it'd be more ideal if you've like gone on a couple dates with them and then you invite them to the beach. So it's not like that first date pressure and you already know that you enjoy the company. Because like, how do you get out of a beach date? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You can't be like, well, I gotta go. Like a beach day
Like,
implies like you're spending time there for a while.
Yeah. I would agree.
So first date, I would maybe say like C, honestly, or like
I feel like
B.
B. Let's do B.
Because
I feel like it's nice ambiance. And here's the thing too. It depends on the beach that you're at. Like there could be like for us, it'd be a beach at a lake. And you know what? We love our little beach at the lake. So it could still be nice, but you know, there could be somewhere it's maybe like not ideal because maybe you're not at the ocean.
I definitely like think good idea if you like have already gone on a few dates with this person, you want to spend more time with them and you're going to the beach, so like, oh, like do you want to come to the beach? Great idea.
Yeah.
Perfect like way to get to know someone. It's pretty casual, like laid back. So if you guys like are just chilling and tanning and not talking, like that's fine. But like for a first date,
like first date you're intending on like conversing with the person and like probably for a bit. So
like at the beach, I'm fine with talking with people, but I also want to read. I want to listen to me like my music or podcast. So I'm not going to be entirely focused on someone else that's there.
Yes.
So not first date material.
This is a bike ride. This seems like a horrible first date idea.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe like if you're like able to ride side by side at like a nice leisurely pace, maybe it's somewhat okay because you can actually like talk with each other. But I'm envisioning like one person like riding in front of the other, and then
you like stop every like 20 minutes, and you're like, "How's it going? You enjoying it?" For me, I also don't love the idea of a bike ride date.
C tier.
I also don't own a bike, so I'd have to like get a bike somewhere, rent something.
Bowling. This is arguably like the worst first date idea you could possibly pick.
Here's the thing. Bowling as like a date night activity for people who have been in a relationship or like been dating for a little bit is fine. Bowling is fun. However, for a first date,
when are you talking to that person?
Awful because if assuming it's just the two of you, then someone's going up and bowling, and then they start walking back and they're like, oh, like it's your turn. Like, see you when you get back here. Like, there's never a time like you could stop bowling and like talk, but then it's like, well, I guess it's your turn. Like, should you go back up there? Like, it just doesn't work in my mind. And so, unless it's like a group date, but I'm not considering any of these first dates as group dates. No. Like, I wouldn't like a group date. For me, this has got to be like C tier.
I already put it there. Okay. Camping.
For a first date, C tier. How much time are you investing in being with that person? That's a big commitment for a first date.
Yeah.
And then also just like, I'm not a camper anyways, and so the idea just doesn't even sound fun to me. But like, yeah, that's a no from me.
Okay, how about like kayaking or canoeing or something?
I think that could be a good first date. Like I'm imagining in the Des Moines area, there's like places you can rent paddleboards and canoes and kayaks and stuff on these small little lakes. And it is an activity.
I feel like maybe like A minus is like my initial thought.
Yeah.
Kayaking would be like a little harder because you're literally like not facing the person. But like a canoe, you could totally kind of like, you know, paddle out somewhere and then just like kind of turn around and chat and
It's kind of funny because like you aren't like going anywhere. And so you're like, should we go this way? And it's like, it doesn't matter. Like at least when you're walking, there's usually like a path that you're following. but for like the water, you're
You
just
could
like,
like go around the perimeter or something.
I know, but it's kind of just like a funny idea of like, now what? Where are we going? It's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it does give you time to talk. You can face each other. No easy out, really, which is, you know, something we have to think about for a first date.
True.
Like
Maybe though, like if you are renting it for like a set amount of time.
True. Like
It's
usually
like-
only rent this for an hour. And
Yeah,
that's like
it's like-
a solid like date
Yeah.
time.
And then if you're wanting to leave, then like shortly after that, you kind of say like, I gotta go. And if you're enjoying it, then you could always extend it beyond that. So it's good for like, okay, we're doing this. And then after this is done,
I gotta go.
I can leave.
I gotta skedaddle. All right, are we thinking A minus?
I think A- is a good spot for it.
Okay.
Concert.
That would be not a good first date. Because, again, you run into the issue of, like, how do you talk if you're at a concert? It's too loud to, like, even hear what the other person's saying. And so
Oh my God, this is my nightmare. I feel like if I'm in a loud situation, I am not good at, like, projecting my voice.
Same.
So I'd literally be, like, screaming and feeling, like, so uncomfortable with how much I have to scream to get this person to just, like, comprehend what I'm saying. So I would hate that.
And we're not big concert people anyways. We've only gone to...
And, like, what are the odds, like,
the odds like if the you're same person?
Same, like, music taste that you both care enough to, like, pay money to go see the person? Probably not.
And, like, concerts are expensive depending on, like, the level that you go to. That's, like, a lot to commit to a first date.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine saying this is C tier, honestly.
Me too. Okay, this looks like a coffee date.
I like the idea of a coffee date because it's like you get it done right away in the morning, most likely if it's a coffee date.
It fits kind of like all the things that I like about. It's like the same
Ideas,
good
drinks.
as like the drinks date, but just like a more casual setting. And I mean, I don't drink coffee either, but I can get like something else. That's not going to be like, I don't have to be like, I don't drink coffee, by the way.
And I also like that it's earlier in the day, not just because you can like quote unquote get it over with if like dates stress you out and you have to like wait for it all day, but you can say like, oh, like we can grab, you know, coffee in the morning and then like I have other stuff I'm doing for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So like it gives you like that built-in like, oh, like I have places to be.
Okay, so where do you think we should put a coffee date?
I think A.
Okay, because we put the bars one at A-, and I do think I would definitely prefer a coffee date personally. So I'm just wondering, like, what are we planning on putting on S?
We could always go back and say like, okay, what from the A do we like think is our number one?
Okay, next is like a comedy show. I hate this. Oh,
I see. Okay, well the only reason is I haven't been to a comedy show, but I'll see like some comedy stuff on TikTok, and I'm like, maybe I would like it more than I initially think. Like I think off the bat, I don't know if I'm a comedy show person, but the only thing that would stress me out is like the idea of like them calling me out for something,
right?
Because that would stress
And
me
also,
out. Like I want to just observe. I don't want to be in the show.
Yeah.
Like, if people like to pull from their audience,
Does it give you like a good opportunity to like talk to the person?
I guess not. So maybe in that sense, it's not a good date idea. It'd be like a good activity for like someone you've been dating someone for a little bit. But first date, I don't know, maybe not that good.
A-, B.
How about B? Because I don't know how much you're gonna get to talk to them.
Yeah. Okay. A wine class or a wine tasting class.
I mean, again, for us personally,
I feel like C.
yeah.
I don't have interest in doing that. Trampoline park. I'm trying to go a little bit faster because I'm recognizing we've got a lot of dates still to go through and some other tier maker things we wanted to get to. Trampoline park. This would kind of give me the ick, I think, a little bit.
Gives me like PTSD.
And I say that as someone who like, you know, used to love a good trampoline park and it can be fun, but you're both just jumping around and like trying to talk to each other while you're just jumping around.
I would say C or B.
I'd say
personally.
C. A dancing class. This would
C tier.
No,
for me. For a first
absolutely
date,
not. Way too intimate.
I'm not learning how to dance with someone on a first date.
I don't really want to learn how to dance anyways.
Exactly. I'm not even gonna do like, you know how people sign up for dance classes for their wedding? I'm not doing that.
Okay, an escape room.
I like low-key love the idea of this for a first date, but it would be really hard to do an escape room with two people. And then the idea of other people
And
being
it's
like
also,
a witness to your first date, that mortifies me. You know, like if you get put into a room with more people.
Like I feel like I want to put this at B tier because I love escape rooms and I probably have like a good time, but like your first date probably like that's probably still not like the prime situation you want to do it in. And also
but the good news is that like you have to work together, and so it really does test your communication skills and like how you might do under a little bit of pressure.
I would like if someone like at least was like trying their best to like come up with like reasonable and good things of like, oh, maybe we should try this, or like I
hate when people don't commit to the bit of an escape room.
It'd be interesting if they're just kind of like sitting, wiggling their fingers, like waiting for you to come up with like
wiggling their fingers, twiddling their thumbs.
Yeah, whatever. And so like if they were just kind of like banking on like someone else doing all the work or not really helping out, not trying to like, and I get like there's definitely times where I'm playing an escape room, especially with like a bunch of people where like you sometimes hit a lull because you're like, I really like I'm at a loss. I don't really know what to do. But then you ask for a hint and you both get back into it.
Again, we'll put it at B, right? But I think it would be like great, again, even just like an earlier, like you've been on a couple dates, now you're like maybe introducing to like your friends and stuff.
It's like, I was gonna say like the two people is still like, that is so hard. So like you almost kind of do need it to be like a group date situation. Okay, a nice simple walk.
I mean, we talked about how we both think it's a good first date idea. I'd say A or A minus.
Let's do A minus, just because I feel like with having a purpose, it is kind of hard to find like that end time unless it's like a hike where like you do the hike and it's done. Or if you're just kind of like walking wherever, you're like I don't really know.
Time to go.
When to leave.
Yeah.
So it's nice and casual, easy to like converse with someone, and so I think that that's good. Figure skating date. I have been on one of these. This was like a couple dates in, and I thought it was fine. I gotta say, like, I'm not great at ice skating, and I also don't really like being cold.
Yeah.
And so, but it's like generally like
fine.
Kind of, it's fun.
To me, it's giving B tier energy. You're just like going in circles, so it's like some of the same stuff as going on a walk, but I feel like, again, I'm not good at ice skating either, and so I feel like I'd just be like going very slow, trying not to fall, and that's not like the energy that I want to give off on a first date.
You're like being clumsy and just praying not to fall.
Yeah.
Movie date. No, I love movies. I do, but for a date,
like, again, it's fine to do if you like have already kind of established some sort of relationship with someone and you both want to go see a movie. Do that, but like for a first date,
I would be leaving being like, I don't really know
like,
you.
Should we hang out again? I'd be like, I don't really know.
Like, I didn't really get to know you at all, so I don't know if I like you or not.
So,
unless they give off such a strong,
you're like, I can't wait to talk to them after the
movie without even talking, then okay, this is like a nicer dinner. I personally like, it's not bad, but I am not like a nice dinner kind of person usually.
I would say like I've gone on a date where it was like we went to dinner and stuff, but it was still pretty like we're eating outside, which eating outside versus eating inside is so much better. Like, I don't know why, but it is. For a date, like I just feel like, I don't know if it's like a dark restaurant would like not be like, I want like just open area, outdoor space. It was warm because it was like summertime. But like the reason that I don't love dinner for a date is because like you have all this food and like I don't eat all the food at a restaurant most of the time anyways, and so then I feel bad, and you're like on a date too, so like sometimes you're just like nervous and you don't want to eat that much, and so like you like can take like the leftovers home and stuff. And I remember my date got like the hugest quesadilla. Like he was like, do you want some of this? Because like I think I got like little like small like street tacos, and so like I ate all of mine because I was like looking for something kind of small that I could finish, and I was like, no, like I don't want.
First of all, I don't like quesadillas. Yeah. Second of all, no.
But it was like this giant like half of a quesadilla that was like cut into thirds. He like ate one of the thirds and like took the rest home. But it's like a dinner date, so it's like fine. You get to talk to each other.
A minus, or do you think A?
I think A minus, just because like the food's a big commitment. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of what drinks and coffee are, but like a little bit.
Cow, you're adding even more
commitment
stuff to it. Okay.
And you're committing more time and stuff too, so.
Karaoke night.
For me personally, I could not do that.
Here's the thing I've learned about myself. From the few times I went out in college, we went to one karaoke bar, and then like my favorite bar to go to is just like one that
Plays
like
good music.
plays good music. It's
Has a
not
little dance
specifically
floor.
karaoke, and you just scream and have a good time. Like I enjoyed that. The karaoke specific bar, I just feel like they're not playing the actual like song, like the person singing. Like that's who you're hearing, and it's not as good as them just like playing the actual song. So, and for a first date, nonetheless, like I'm not a singer. I don't know if my date would be a singer, but
I would say C tier
Me
for me,
too.
personally.
okay, laser tag.
It's an activity, but not really one that I am that interested in. I've only gone and played laser tag like one time. And I feel like even if you are on the same team, kind of like looking out for each other and stuff, like there's still not a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Unless you're just talking about your strategy for the game because you want to win.
I know. I think this is a bad date idea. So I think C. We've got a lot of stuff in our C tier. Okay. Going to the mall.
That's a bad date idea. Like to do what?
It's very like there's no purpose to the task.
Like it's kind of like you're walking, but like for what? Like if someone says, "Do you want to go to the mall?" I'd be like, "For what?" You know?
Mhm.
So I'd say for sure C tier. That might be the worst one, honestly. Like why are you going to the mall?
Art museum. I'd say like B tier. Like I'm not
You're
like
walking
an
around,
art
but then, like,
museum girly, but like who really?
It's so embarrassing when you're like
I don't
going
want to say
somewhere
who cares
to
about
look
the
at-
art because like some people do, but
like
like
going and looking at stuff and pretending that either of you have like the sophisticated mind to have any idea what you're looking at and like make a comment on like the art and be like,
it's basically like it's a place to like
To
go
walk.
do a walk with something to look at, but it's worse than a walk.
but like, will any of you have like an insightful comment that will make going to the art museum worthwhile? I don't think I would. And I'm someone who like kind of enjoys art.
Okay. A Netflix and chill type of date.
No,
For me,
not
would
doing that
never.
on a first date.
Okay.
So C tier.
Yeah. This one is like I see like the painting canvas thing. So since we already kind of talked about with like the
Art class.
art craft or art class one, we put that in A- tier. So I'm gonna put this one in that one too. Okay, a puzzle. This is like a couple dates in. This would be fine to do. Like get together, hang
Like
out.
anything where
chill
you're
night
at
in.
one of your houses or place of living, to me is not a first date.
No. So like I think this is a totally fine thing to do, but like first date, no. So like so much no that it's going in C tier.
Okay.
I actually have done a puzzle, but it was again not the first date. So it was just a nice like you're just chatting, putting a puzzle together. So it's fine. But anyways, okay. Rock climbing.
We used to enjoy rock climbing when we were in like middle school, high school. I don't know that I would. I mean, I would still probably like rock climbing, but like not enough to be like, let's go to a rock climbing place for a date.
It's kind of like that's kind of a big commitment for like a first date to be like I'm gonna go rock climbing with this person. I
only
feel like it'd be
feel-
more a couple dates in if you're like really liking that person. You're kind of like okay, rock climbing just would be fun to go do. I will go do it with you.
Or like honestly, to me, it only really makes sense if like the person you're going on a date with like is into rock climbing, and they're like, hey, like, do you want to come rock climb with me? And then I'd be like, sure,
Like if you're both two people
why
that
not?
like don't really rock climb,
then like why bother?
so do we do C?
I'm fine with B because it's not like it's fun.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't know why you'd do it.
Okay, a baseball game.
Actually, not a bad
This
date
would be,
idea.
This is a good
Because
like,
nothing
it's
happens in
cheap.
baseball.
You have a distraction, but you're also, and I like, you know, I generally am kind of like I'm someone that likes sports. I like
You just go for the vibes.
going to sporting events.
Like if someone
Like this
invited me
could
to like
be
a
S
Cubs
tier.
game,
There's food there. It's casual. It's easy to like to talk and just about whatever's going on. Especially if it's something like you're not like super invested in the team, maybe. So I kind of am wanting to put this in S tier. Now, there's a difference between like this like casual baseball game date versus like going to a Hawkeye football game. That would not be a good first date idea. But we're talking about just like a nice casual baseball game, so it's different.
yeah, like no one's there. You're just chilling. You're mostly just talking because there's nothing to do with baseball games.
Yeah.
Any baseball fan listening to this right now is like, what are you talking about? I honestly, I think this would be a good date idea. Like if someone asked me to go to like a Cubs game, I'd be
Yeah.
like, that's kind of cute. And like
And like the
chill.
game's a set length. I don't fully know how long baseball games are. So it maybe be on the longer end of a date, but I still think it'd probably be fine.
And it's like casual, relaxed environment for the most part.
It'd be
You
kind
both
of
get like
stressful.
root for the same team a little bit.
It'd be stressful if it was like as hot as some of the baseball games we've been to, though.
Mm-hmm.
But assuming it's like maybe a night game and it's not as hot. There's been a couple. We've gone to like 2 MLB games. Yeah, right.
3.
Anyways, one of them was so hot. We were like sliding out of the seats. That'd be a little less enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
So weather permitting, it'd probably be a good idea. I'm kind of picking through some of the ones that I can like for sure tell what they are. Okay, how about this will be the last one because we're almost done and the rest of them are kind of like dumb. So, zoo.
I don't mind the zoo day idea. I know there's some like ethical things that people talk about with the zoos and stuff, but just for the vibes of the zoo is what I'm thinking of. It's got the things that you like in a walking date. Gives you something to look at and talk
Kind of
about.
expensive though.
Yeah, it is. I would be fine doing like B tier for zoo.
Okay. We can do that. All right. Right now we have one thing in the S tier. Is there anything from our A tier that we want to
Read our A tier out.
A tier, we had mini golf, fair, and coffee date. I feel like fair could be S tier because there's so much you can do at a fair.
I think so too. We can move that up.
Okay, so that leaves the baseball game and fair as our S tier dates. A tier, we have the mini golf and coffee date. A minus tier, we have the art type stuff that you're doing, painting or whatever. We have drinks, canoe kayaking, going on a walk, and then the nice dinner date. B tier, we have the arcade, beach, comedy show, escape room, figure skating, ice skating.
We're going to go do a routine with them.
Art museum, rock climbing, and zoo. And then the most full tier, C tier, we have laser tag, karaoke night, movie night, a Comic-Con convention, bike ride, bowling, camping, wine tasting, concert, trampoline park, a dance class, doing a puzzle, Netflix and chill, and shopping.
Honestly, like saying all those out, I think we did a good job.
I think so
and
too.
I think we put them in the appropriate tier.
Okay. So now the next question is, do you want to do the book tropes or People Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive rankings?
Do you think that we only have time for one more? You guys will have to let us know if you would want us to do another
we probably
tier
should
ranking
just do
one
of them.
This is pressure. Which one should we do?
You pick.
Let's do People's Sexiest Man Alive, because I feel like if we did another one of these tier ones, we could do like a book specific one maybe, and the tropes could go in that one.
Okay. A lot of times people do, this would be like niche, so it'd have to be like more for like, it'd be more for like our avid book listeners and maybe not so much for everyone else, but like people do like ranking book boyfriends. I'd have to like I'd have to revisit. It'd be like I'd have to put a lot of work in if we did that, because I forget names immediately after I read them, and I really don't have a whole lot of thoughts except for just like the vibes of what I felt when I was reading the book. So will that be something we could do? I don't know. Okay.
And this is our personal opinion with the rankings, so just so you know.
So this is S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier. I do believe that this is in order, so we'll start like furthest back and then work our way forward. And some of these people you're not going to know. So I don't know. I don't know if you want to look
How
them
many
up
are
or what.
there?
There are 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. 37.
Okay. Wow.
I feel like let's kind of like,
Speed run it
maybe we work
backwards, and then like when
Like-
we stop caring, we
yeah,
stop.
maybe.
Okay.
This could be the only S tier. I don't know. You know who the most
Michael B.
recent?
Jordan.
No, you know who the
Oh.
most
Wasn't he wasn't he recent?
No, most recent. You have to know this.
For Sexiest Man Alive.
Yes.
Oh, Chris Evans.
Yes.
S tier. Michael B. Jordan was recent though, right?
He's the third one.
Michael B.
Chris
Jordan.
Evans. Chef's
Chef's
kiss.
kiss.
Don't know how he wasn't Sexiest Man Alive sooner. Incredible. He's like
No notes.
no notes to leave with that one. Okay, and then we have Paul Rudd. Honestly, I really
I
like
like
Paul
it.
Rudd.
I'll give it A.
Okay. Very like he's funny, looks good.
Like, you like the whole package. Like,
Yeah.
you know, someone you'd want to date. I don't
Okay.
know that much about Paul Rudd.
You're like,
It's the
okay.
vibes he gives off.
Ant-Man.
I've never seen Ant-Man.
Either.
But
Okay, then we have Michael B. Jordan.
Also S tier.
Love him. Should we go see Creed 3? It's out now.
No.
Okay, John Legend is next.
Me personally, I don't get this one. I'm fine putting this low or second low.
C? I think let's do C.
Because, like, I don't even listen to his music, really. Like John
I
Legend.
see and hear of John Legend, and I just, like, I don't dislike him, but I don't feel anything towards him.
Mm-hmm.
Very talented musician. He's got an EGOT. Youngest person to ever achieve that. I'm Idris Elba.
Idris Elba?
No, because
Idris?
Everyone thinks it's Idris, but it's not.
Okay.
I'm like, Idris doesn't sound entirely right to me, though, but I know it's not Idris.
He's a good-looking man. I honestly don't know if I can say if I've seen anything with him in it. I like his voice. He's in those Trivago commercials.
I feel like we could go A or B.
Let's do B.
Like, he's an older man, you know, but he's a good-looking guy. Okay, we'll do B tier for him. Okay, Blake Shelton's next.
Low.
And
I don't get it. When they first announced him, I was like, no offense, Blake, but I don't get it.
I'm putting him in D tier. Like, I'm not a country music person, so, like, that doesn't help boost him for me. Okay, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
He has, like, a lot of hype around him. Personally, like, I love his movies and stuff. Like,
He's a funny guy. He is dedicated to the craft. Like, lots of respectable things about him. And he's not, like, a bad-looking guy, but...
Like, he's not my sexiest man alive, you know? Like, I would go B or C for me.
Let's do B. Okay. Next we have David Beckham. David Beckham is someone where it's kind of like, I feel like he's a classic. What were you saying?
I was just like, I mean, come on. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah. His entire family is a good looking group of people. Like,
and he seems like a family man from what I can tell, like on Instagram.
He loves his family. Let's do A.
Okay, I'm good with
A. He's an athlete. Like,
what more could you want?
Chris Hemsworth.
He definitely, like, more people give him hype than I personally do. Like, honestly, if I'm being for real, I think Liam is a little bit better looking than Chris, but I know that's not popular opinion. I'm also not, like, I haven't really seen any of his movies, but, like, from what I've seen online, he seems like a good guy. He is objectively a good looking person. So I'd go, like, B tier for me personally.
I'm fine with that. Okay. Adam Levine.
Lots of controversy with this one recently. We've been to his concert.
We did. We went to a Maroon 5 concert.
And I do, honestly, Maroon 5 gets trashed, but, like, everyone loves their songs. So why do people trash their music? Because, like, they're usually objectively pretty good. But due to recent...
I know, I'm kind of like, you like him less as a person.
I mean...
He's not a bad-looking guy.
But, like, just
I generally like his songs, but, like, should we still put him C?
Yeah. Just, like, we have to, you know, uphold some standards here.
Okay. Next, we have Channing Tatum.
He is the definition in my mind. You know, like the ugly hot ugly debate?
Yeah.
Which I feel like, do you and I have the same definition?
I don't know.
To me, ugly hot is, like, Timothée Chalamet, and then hot ugly is Channing Tatum. But some people have their head, like, it's mixed around in their mind. He is someone who is objectively a good-looking person, but, like, for me, he just doesn't do it.
I also agree. I think there's, like, a certain genre of guys where it's, like, you know that they're, like, objectively attractive. Like, Channing Tatum's, like, the blueprint almost for, like, an objectively attractive person, but that almost makes it, like, so, like, you're not as attracted to them for whatever reason. However, like from what I know of him, like, I think he has a pretty good personality, and he was really funny in, what was that movie we saw with Sandra Bullock?
Oh,
The Lost City.
Oh, yeah, The Lost City.
That was a funny movie. I enjoyed it.
I'd do B tier for him.
Let's do B tier. I agree with that. Okay. Bradley Cooper.
I love Bradley Cooper. A tier.
Let's do A tier. I agree.
I just rewatched a little Star is Born clip yesterday.
Good looking guy. He's honestly, like, I feel like if you look at different pictures of him throughout the years, he's got a lot of different looks, kind of.
He's versatile.
Okay, next we have Ryan Reynolds. I really like Ryan Reynolds. A lot of people like Ryan Reynolds.
You know what's funny? You know how every guy says, like, their man crush is, like, Ryan Reynolds? I saw some TikTok that a girl was like, she's like, it's a red flag when a guy says that because that's like the only answer he feels comfortable giving without having his like sexuality questioned or something. You know what I mean? But like, I feel like most guys don't actually put that much thought into it, but they're like, oh, Ryan Reynolds is like the safe answer. So I'm just going to say that.
I guess.
I still like Ryan Reynolds.
Let's do A.
I do Air B, so whatever.
If I'm thinking of him versus Channing Tatum, I'm putting him in A.
Okay. Fair enough.
Okay. There's actually 2 different years that Johnny Depp was Sexiest Man Alive. And I gotta say, the pictures they picked of him...
Some of the pictures they pick for these guys or take of them
like, poor
does not
choice.
do them justice.
This picture of Johnny Depp does not do Johnny Depp any justice. I'm not really a Johnny Depp, like, super
He has, like,
fan or
this
anything.
rugged look about him that, for
He's
me,
kind of just, like,
is not what
also
I'm
just
into.
Mysterious, and I don't really know a whole lot about him.
So I can't really judge his personality. I haven't seen any of his movies.
Like, C?
That's fair.
Because, like, I don't know the guy.
He's a mystery man. And, like, that whole court case, like, I don't even know what that was about. That was just a lot.
Okay, how about Hugh Jackman?
I like Hugh Jackman.
I do too.
He's a good-looking guy. He seems very nice. Seems like he loves the craft of acting. He's on Broadway recently. I would go B or A.
I'd say let's go A. Let's go A. Okay, Matt Damon.
Megan loves Matt
love
Damon.
Matt Damon. I'm not like the most attracted to him. But I love his work in The Martian, and I've seen a lot of movies with him, and I really like him. So let's go B tier. I just saw a TikTok. I guess he doesn't like take his daughters out like to red carpets or anything much, but I saw him, his wife, and his 3 daughters on TikTok at a red carpet yesterday, and like the daughters look exactly like their mom, and that's what all the comments were, like copy paste mom. Next we have George Clooney.
Good looking guy. Salt and pepper look to him. He's older. I liked him in the
Oh Brother Where Art
Lost.
Thou? Oh
No, I did like him in that one. I actually forgot about that. That bumps him up even more. He was in Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which we watched for one of our English classes in high school. And then he was in that new movie, I almost said The Lost Ticket. Ticket to Paradise, which was good, I thought. I give him A tier or B tier.
I was thinking B tier. I think let's stick with B tier. Okay. I just like looking at who we have. I think he fits best. Okay. Here's another S tier for me. Matthew McConaughey.
Yes. I love Matthew McConaughey. How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I was like fixated on him for like weeks after that.
And it's just like, I love his personality. I love, like, he just has like such a persona.
I want to read his autobiography so bad. I've heard it's so good.
I've seen mixed reviews. Like some people.
Really?
Yeah.
I've only seen
people,
good reviews.
Like, love it. And then I heard some people say like listening to the audiobook, it was like, I don't know. They had mixed reviews. So
I've only seen good reviews. So interesting.
But yeah, I love Matthew McConaughey. So he can go in S tier. Next.
You know who I want to have like soon to be People's Sexiest Man Alive? Joe Keery.
Yes.
He'd be S tier for me.
Which is interesting because it's like, when I were to like, if I were to think of like, you know, who I find objectively attractive, he is it, but he kind of like isn't. He's got like a different look to him.
He does, but like, you know what it is? It is his personality and just like his
Steve
charisma.
Harrington.
Like it's crazy how much that can do for someone's level of attractiveness.
Jude Law. Do you know who they look like, or what?
I probably would recognize them.
Because like I don't even know what they're from, honestly. I know I've heard the
I
name.
haven't seen anything with them, so you can put them wherever you feel is appropriate.
Let's go C tier. Okay. Next we have Ben Affleck.
Isn't he like a controversial guy?
I don't know.
I only know. I haven't actually. Maybe I have seen something with him in it. He's an okay looking guy. Like I would say C tier for me.
I don't know if this is exactly who I'm thinking of, or if I'm thinking of a different actor, but he's like the knockoff version of like Ryan Reynolds in my mind.
Interesting.
Let's do C tier. Okay. Next we have Pierce Brosnan. Do you know who that is?
Is he the guy in... Is he in Mamma Mia?
Maybe he is. I honestly, like, I'm kind of just asking, do you know who that is? Because I don't.
I, like, vaguely remember what he looks like. He's older.
Because we're starting to get to people where we're probably not going to know them as much. So I don't know if you want me to like.
In my mind, I am thinking C tier, but you can. I don't know how old he was in the one that we're looking at.
He's still like older. It looks like. I'm gonna start going through.
Has Patrick Dempsey ever been People's Sexiest Man Alive? Because
No,
if
but he
not, what a
should.
crime.
He's got some great salt and pepper hair now.
Yeah.
He could still be sexiest man alive. He'd be S tier for me. I love Patrick Dempsey. As we get closer towards the end now, I'm kind of thinking maybe, like, I'll say the person. If we have, like, really no thoughts, maybe we just skip them. Because, like, if you don't know what they look like, I'm not turning my laptop around to, like, show you what they look like. And stuff like that. So, Pierce Brosnan. Maybe we just skip.
Okay.
Brad Pitt has been twice.
Brad Pitt doesn't really do it for me, if I'm being honest. I also, like, feel like I have seen some of his movies, but none that I'm like, oh my god, like, Brad Pitt, like, I love his movies. So for me, it's, like, B or C.
I
Probably B.
will go B. That's what I was thinking. And I think it's because I do think, like, Brad Pitt is, like, an attractive person, and, like, he's been in, like, a lot of stuff, so, like, I respect his craft for, like, his acting. But, like, they've never really developed that personal, like, I love that man thing. So, do you know Richard Gere?
No, I think I've heard of his name, but I don't know who that is.
Harrison Ford? I feel like I've heard more about Harrison Ford in the past 2 weeks than ever before in my life.
Harrison Ford, I mean, obviously he wasn't 80 years old then, but for being 80 years old, he looks great. I could do C tier or B tier for him.
We'll do C. Denzel Washington.
Denzel
Denzel Washington.
I have seen a couple movies. Remember the Titans was a great movie. I'm not really like drawn to him or away from him. Like he's just kind of like he looks like what he looks like, and I don't really have many thoughts on it. Great actor though, from what I have seen him in. I would do B or C.
And that's what I was thinking. Now I'm just trying to like pinpoint where exactly. I think I'll go C. Nick Nolte, do you know who that is?
I have no idea who that is.
Patrick Swayze.
I know he's a good-looking guy. He was in Dirty Dancing, I think. But I don't know. C, B?
Let's do C because I also feel like he's like a big well-known name. So in that essence, he gets a little more respect.
Sure. Like I've heard of him.
Okay. How about Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise, like, also just, like, doesn't really do it for me.
He's also just, like,
Weird,
an interesting guy,
you know,
with his Scientology, and I think he is, like, he's a pretty good-looking guy.
Is he even, like, a present daughter or present father in his daughter's life?
I don't know.
Like, you know, I don't know if he is. I feel like he's not, which is, like, you know, brings him down a little bit.
How much do looks save him? It's kind of the
I mean,
question.
even, like, he's a good-looking guy, but he's not, like, my, like, you know.
He's not my Chris Evans.
Yeah. I'd put him in C tier.
Okay. I'm going to say names, and unless you know them. Sean Connery.
I've heard of him, but I don't know what he looks like.
John F. Kennedy Jr.
I don't really know what he looks like either.
He looks like a pretty good-looking guy.
I mean, I'm sure he's a Kennedy, so.
I'll put him in C tier. God, I feel bad with Blake Shelton's the only one in D tier.
It's more so just like I don't get it.
Okay. Mark Harmon.
Oh, that's the guy from NCIS, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've never really
He's
thought of him
pretty
as
good looking.
He
guy
was
when he's younger.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I've seen older pictures of him. He's a good looking guy.
I
like NCIS.
Let's do, I don't know.
Megan does not like NCIS.
I don't dislike. Here's the thing. It's like it's fine, but there are so many better crime shows that I'd rather watch. It's fine. I don't dislike it. That's too much. But I'd rather watch other stuff. Okay, this was the earliest person, Mel Gibson.
I don't really.
I have no thoughts on Mel Gibson.
What he looked like back then.
So we have ranked the friend that we're going to rank. I feel pleased with it.
Here, just do like our S and our A tier, and then like our bottom two.
So just don't say B tier.
Yeah. Is that like the biggest one? Like we need a whole recap.
The B and C are both equally long.
Read whatever you want to read.
S tier, we have our 3 top contenders, which I feel great about. And I'm kind of like, other than like, Joe Keery, other than like, he's someone that like we both really like a lot. I'm trying to think of like, is there anyone that wasn't on here where I'm like, they are my
Patrick
S-tier?
Dempsey.
Yeah, okay, Patrick Dempsey too. Okay, we have Chris Evans, Michael B. Jordan, Matthew McConaughey. I feel great about that.
I do too.
A tier, we have Paul Rudd, David Beckham, Bradley Cooper, Ryan Reynolds, and Hugh Jackman. I feel pretty good about that.
I feel good about that.
I'm going to skip B and C tier, and in D tier, we have Blake Shelton. I apologize.
No hate to you, Blake Shelton. I just don't get it.
So, there's our ranking.
And with that, this episode ended up being a little bit longer than I thought it was going to be. So we will be pausing on the book trope one.
I apologize if you listened to that and you're like, I'm so excited.
But that just gives you guys a good opportunity. If you want more tier ranking episodes, if you have any specific ideas of types of tier ranking episodes you want, this one was kind of focused on like, not like dating and relationships, but just like, I feel like the vibe matched overall. So let us know if you would like future episodes similar to this. If you thought the format worked out well. I think that we did a better job this time than we did last tier ranking. I don't even remember what we did, but it felt more smooth this time around. So that being said, if you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment if you're on.
Go follow our Instagram. We're going to have our feed's going to be popping soon. It's been doing pretty well, but
Megan's been crafting up some posts.
I've been crafting a couple new posts and stuff, so hopefully you guys will like it.
You can also subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, I think. So, yeah.
We will talk to you guys next Thursday.
Bye.